Hello, my name is Allan Fein. I am a research coordinator for the Michael G. DeGroote Centre for Medicinal Cannabis Research, the Peter Boris Centre for Addictions Research, the McMaster Okanagan Office of Health and Wellbeing, and I volunteer as an assistant coach on the McMaster varsity fencing team. So I think for me, uh, the interest in the science of cannabis is mostly around trying to put some data and a scientific framework around the anecdotes that exist around the benefits and harms of cannabis. So if you go any Google search, any type of search online, and you can almost expect to see that cannabis will be beneficial and harmful at the same time for almost any medical condition that's out there. Uh, Without the scientific background, without the studies, the research studies to demonstrate effectiveness, efficacy, harms, we don't know exactly what cannabis can and should be used for, and in which cases it probably should not be used for. So to me, that is the most important type of work that needs to be done with cannabis at this time. So with the legalization of cannabis, while it became legal for the population in Canada to go and purchase cannabis, whether online or through stores, storefronts, it remained illegal for a corporation or an organization to purchase cannabis at all, which then made it illegal to actually do research with cannabis. So one of the big barriers right now is to have a product that we can use for research purposes. With the legalization, there has been a reduction on the licensed producers side of interest in producing cannabis for research purposes because they don't need to do the preclinical type work that Health Canada demands for cannabis to be used within a clinical trial. So having product available is one of the big barriers to doing any type of research with cannabis. And it's one of the things that we continue to struggle with as at McMaster. We are not intending to produce cannabis. There's a lot of upside though as well. So there is some funding. We, as a research center, provide internal pilot grants to McMaster faculty and students who are interested in conducting research with cannabis. And that's either directly with cannabis or doing observational trials of people who might be using or not using cannabis, which is probably right now the largest groups of, or the largest type of research that we do. So we do have some pilot funding available. We do have a lot of interest. One of the things that has really struck me when we first started in 2018 and continuing now is how people have really been able to pivot on the current research that they're doing, whatever it is, whether it's in the social sciences, in the basic sciences, in the clinical sciences. They're just have been able to pivot to be able to look at cannabis in different ways. And I think that is one of the things that the DeGroote Centre is. It's a real strength of the DeGroote Centre to look at the breadth of research opportunities and research questions that are being looked at. Another strength of our research center is that we have been able to secure a number of research licenses. So institutionally, we have research licenses to be able to conduct research with cannabis and have product on main campus at St. Joe's Charlton and at St. Joe's the West 5th campus. So we have 3 institutional licenses to be able to conduct research. We then also have an analytics license, which allows one of the labs on campus to be able to do direct analysis of cannabis products. So they're able to accept cannabis and be able to look at the constituents that make up that cannabis, which is a really great thing from our standpoint, because if we're going to go and do clinical trials, for us to have an independent source outside of the licensed producer to be able to test the product so that we can be confident that what we are giving to people for research is actually what we think it is. The licenses are incredibly time consuming. It has taken us 4 to 5 years to be able to figure out the system and be able to get awarded the licenses that we have been awarded. There's a number of unknown entities when you're doing something brand new. So people at Health Canada were learning as they go and making decisions as they go. So there was a lot of trial and error where we would put something together, send it on to Health Canada, wait 3 to 6 months, hear back from Health Canada with some feedback, and then we would have to edit and resubmit. And that happened a number of times over the last number of years. What our licenses allow us to do is simply to purchase cannabis at this time. If we want to do anything that is a clinical trial, we still have to go through Health Canada, each project on an individual basis, to get a CTA, a clinical trials agreement, and receive a no objection letter from Health Canada in order to proceed with any health-related studies if we want to be able to make any health claims. If we don't want to make any health claims, there's a new process that is being developed by Health Canada that's called the non-therapeutic research with cannabis stream. And we haven't attempted any of that work yet, as it's a brand new portal. But if and when someone comes forward wanting to do some sort of work with cannabis, that will be the next thing that we try to navigate, is that portal. So if someone wants to do a study, for example, where using a driving simulator and give people cannabis and then see how they do on cannabis versus how long perhaps it takes for cannabis to go through the system before it's safe for them to drive again. If we wanted to do that type of study, it would be going through this new portal, which is a non-therapeutic portal. So we haven't tried that yet, but perhaps in the future we will have researchers with research questions that will be fitting that line of research licenses. At the DeGroote Centre, we do support any faculty members or students who do want to try and get one of these research licenses. And we do have an internal process to be able to vet and approve certain types of cannabis projects.